And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Hey, yes, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show, all about helping you understand your buying decisions, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Almost 10 years on air now. Real proud of the local success and all the folks that call into the show, the hotline. That means the world to us by supporting our program. You can call or text 813-917-1894. That's our Consumer Advocate hotline. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. We got a great lineup for you today. We got Super Bowl winner, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer kicker Martin Gramatica going to be in studio. He's also current head coach of the Tampa Bay Strikers, coaching the soccer team there and also representing Lifeguard Imaging. He offers free heart scans to all of our listeners as well. Martin Gramatica coming up. We got Jordan Bowman in the house as well, AC guy of Tampa Bay. I guess the AC gal in studio today of Tampa Bay. But no, you've heard Greg on the show. You've heard Dan Fika. They've got such a great team over there. But we got some tips for you relating to your home and your air conditioning system. And before we do, I want to give a shout out to Discovery Golf Cars, formerly known as Golf Car Depot, longtime friends of the program, and they hooked us up with a beautiful Keller Williams red golf cart, and they've got the Easy Go Star EV Cushman. They offer new and pre-owned. You can also rent or buy Discovery Golf Cars online at discoverygolfcars.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We always like to feature our real estate listings live on air as well. We help our sellers profit more and sell faster, utilizing our innovations with radio, TV, and internet marketing. We got a hot property listing here at 1307 Normandy Circle in Palm Harbor. This is a corner lot location, waterfront property. It's on a canal. And a beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay, 1307 Normandy Circle, corner lot location, property here in Tampa. Owner is motivated. You got a pool home with a screened-in pool. And a beautiful property, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 2,600 square foot ranch-style home. And the owner has done some updating. There's maybe some updating left to do depending on your taste. But 1307 Normandy Circle in Palm Harbor. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. This is God's country. All right, Jordan Bowman in the house. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me again.
My pleasure. Awesome. Thanks for coming in. And so, we talk a lot about these consumer tips, things to do, things to avoid, what to look out for out there. And you got some tips that you lined up for us today.
Yeah. So this summer we saw increase in drain line issues again. That typically hits every summertime because it's hot out. And in that, you have a lot of microbial growth. And where that really likes to hit is those drain lines. So that's typically right under the air handler. It's connected to that. What can happen is a little bit of bacteria gets in there and it creates a buildup. It's actually really nasty. If you've ever cleaned it out, it's not cute. And that'll cause the water to back up and shut your air off. Right. Or if your float switch doesn't work, an overflow of water. No one wants that. Yep. So tips and tricks for helping that not happen is obviously twice-a-year maintenance. We suggest that to everyone. And at the same time, though, it can still happen because it does not take long for bacteria to grow. So we do actually suggest people flush out their drain line maybe about once a month. Get some drain tabs off of Amazon. They're pretty cheap. You can put those in there. That'll help get rid of the microbial growth, as well as, like I said, flush it out. Use like vinegar or very, very diluted bleach. We don't suggest that for certain drain lines because it can cause problems. So at the end of the day, probably vinegar is a better option for you, but that can help with this because it's a problem. People don't like it.
It hit me. It got me again. They got me this time. It happened to my mom a few years ago, and unfortunately hers was up in the second story. So it kind of went through the ceiling, and then and then she also had this like coating on the top. It was like an aluminum look. I don't know if you ever seen that little like little squares on the ceiling. But she had just this really elaborate. So she had that, and then I just recently had it where it leaked.
Yeah.
Luckily, mine is in my garage, so this little structure underneath. We had Dan come out. Dan Fika came out and just kind of rebuilt that structure for us, and did a great job, of course, like always.
Yeah, the water is not fun, especially if you're overflowing in your ceiling or anything. It could cause a lot of problems. Hopefully. We hope those float switches, it's their job is to shut once the drain pan starts to fill up with water, the job is for it to shut the air handler off. But if it doesn't, will have overflow of water.
And mine didn't. Mine didn't. For some reason, the way it was connected or the angle it was on, something like that, he said it didn't. It didn't do it.
On occasion, we'll see it.
Yeah,
not fun.
Yeah, exactly. So I was going to ask you also about just some of the maintenance tips, but also like the supply chain, because I know we've talked to your dad before about supply chain, and he said I think it was something to the effect like the units you used to be able to get 15, 20 years ago seems like they used to last a lot longer than a lot of the newer units, and I guess some of the components have changed over the years.
Yeah, it has. Actually, it's in a little bit of relation to the drain line. So a lot of the units used to be made of better metals and materials. So one of those things being copper, which is why we used to not see a lot of these drain line issues, because copper is actually naturally antimicrobial. So you wouldn't have some of these problems. So people will replace their unit that's like old, like 25 years old. You need to replace it at that point. But they're replacing it, and they're having these problems. And it's because, sadly, like many things, not made as well. Materials are not made as well. So you are seeing that at this point now, a lot of the change in the game is contractors. Now, obviously, we're always like, pick a great contractor, but especially now that pieces of equipment are not made quite as well as they used to be, you want a really good contractor.
Yeah, absolutely. And what have you guys been seeing as far as supply chain? Because I think you mentioned, too, that, if you wait till January to make some changes, it's probably going to be a different price.
Exactly, yeah. So in January, code's supposed to change with the city, with the states. So different cities, state, the codes will be different. So what that means is when you replace your unit, we're going to have to, in order to do per code with a permit, we have to change more. And what that can mean is extra labor, extra costs involved. So if people are planning on replacing, we're really saying, hey, don't wait till January. Do it now and finance it, because sometimes it's a money thing. I know the holidays are coming up, but we actually have a lot of different great financing options. With some people qualify for 0% financing for so many months. So that's pretty amazing. So if you're gonna do it now, because codes will change and pricing will go up again.
Yeah, it can, and that's what happens. That's what you see happening. As opposed to real estate prices. Real estate prices seem to be coming down a little bit. There has been a little bit of a lull in the market. You have potential for increase in the Federal Reserve rate again. But I hear they're going to start tapering at some point, so I hope that happens, meaning instead of doing 75 basis points, maybe we drop to a 50 basis point increase. But what I've been seeing, and even like today, for example, this morning, there were 180-something expired listings. Normally on a regular day, that's like 15 to 30. But since it's the first, so you went October to November, you have a lot more people expiring, a lot of properties expiring. So there's more opportunities for people like me that list properties, focus on the listing side. And then, for us, we feature our listings on the show. So anyways, long story, prices are coming down a little bit. We're seeing it, but the inventory is super low. It's still a 1.5 month supply of inventory, which a lot of people don't understand. They don't really get that.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that myself. But...
So inventory meaning, so if at 1.5 month supply, you've heard the term buyer's market and seller's market, right? Yeah. So at 1 to 5 months supply is a seller's market, because there's not much opportunity for buyers to look at a bunch of different properties, right? Now 5 to 7, they call that a balanced market. And then anything over 7 to 12 months supply, that's a buyer's market. Gotcha. Because there's a lot more inventory, buyers can be more selective.
I see what you're saying.
And that's what happened back in 08, 09, back when we had that mortgage meltdown and the financial somewhat crisis and the bank bailouts and all that good stuff.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so kind of working inversely here as far as prices go.
Yeah.
But in Florida, hey, we've got the free state of Florida. People can get around and do things they want to do, not having to wear a mask. And luckily, Governor DeSantis doing a great job for us here in Florida, keeping us free. But supply chain issues, are they still happening? Are you still having trouble getting some supplies? Have you had that in the past?
Yeah. And we're doing the best we can. So when COVID originally hit, that was where a lot of this happened, obviously, for many people. So we did take a pivot. We started kind of changing the pieces of equipment we were getting, and we found another brand that we really liked. It's actually called Champion. and they offered an incredible warranty, and they've worked really well with us, and they've done a really excellent job at getting us pieces of equipment.
Very good.
So we kind of took a step away from what we were using. We still obviously use them as well. They're our original, which was Franklin, private label of Goodman. But obviously there was problems, so sometimes those parts are back ordered quite a bit, and that's never fun for anybody. So
is it Champion you mentioned?
Champion's what we're using currently more frequently, yes.
Are they American made, or where do those?
That's a great question. I believe they are. I think it's a mix. I think they're a little bit outsourced, but a little bit insourced as well.
Probably assembled in the United States, something along those lines.
Yeah. I think that's typically what it is for a lot of the brands we've been using.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of them have different names. So you'll find that there's like a bajillion names out there, but there's like 3 head companies that actually make them.
Right.
So Champion's the private label. I can't remember the head name at the moment, but I'm sure if anyone ever wanted to know, they could call our office and I can find out for them.
Jordan Bowman here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, AC guy of Tampa Bay, longtime friend of the program. Support the local economy by supporting companies like the AC guy of Tampa Bay and supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show online at consumerqb.com. Thank you so much for those that do reach out, call the show. We get multiple calls per week. People want to know, hey, how can I refinance my mortgage? What do you think about the real estate market? I'd like to talk to an attorney. We interview great attorneys on the show, financial advisors, Mark Hay and Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, great partners of the show. And Jordan and her dad, Greg Bowman, have been a longtime friend of the program. And we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back more with Jordan Bowman on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Real quick, though, let's remind them of the website and contact info.
Yeah, so it's acguyoftampa.com is our webpage, and then you can call us at 727-286-3170, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if you get us after hours, you can still schedule too. It's an awesome new feature we have, so feel free to give us a call anytime.
Cool. And I want to talk about that VIP program coming up on the flip side. We'll be right back here more on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Check out our book now. The book is on Audible. It's available download on audible.com, and wrote the book about 6 months ago, but it takes a little while to record and get it all processed through. So real proud of that accomplishment. We are on Audible now. Quarterbacking Success. Think and grow your multi-million-dollar real estate empire. The book is available. Excited about that. And I love Audible. I love to download and just listen to books, especially, sometimes at the 3 or 4 o'clock hours when you can't go back to sleep. I just listen to the books and turn on some great books. I've been listening to Dennis Prager's Rational Bible series. He does a great job on those. All right, we got Jordan Bowman in the house, AC guy of Tampa Bay, and we're going to talk about the VIP program as well as warranties, making sure that you properly, check these warranties whenever you are buying new construction homes and other new as well, new ACs as well. Hot property at 1804 East Spencer Street, 1804 East Spencer Street. This is a property that we've got listed in Plant City. This is in Hillsborough County. Vacant land, great opportunity to build your dream home here in Tampa Bay. 1804 East Spencer Street is one of our property listings. Owners motivated, and you got access to the property in multiple ways, and there is there's a lot already in place, so you got a small structure there as far as to build on. 1804 East Spencer Street. There may be an opportunity to I think there's a well already on place at 1804 East Spencer Street. All right, let's go to 3819 6th Avenue West. This is a property that we've got in Palmetto, 3819 6th Avenue West in Palmetto. Great opportunity to own real estate in Manatee County, down in South Florida. Hot listing, owners motivated. Property is just recently reduced as well. 6th Avenue West in Palmetto. Beautiful property. I love the roof there. 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 1,518 square feet. It's got a metal roof on it. Beautiful home. You can see all of our listings, Platinum MVP team.kw.com.
Buy dirt, find one you can't live without.
And you can also buy dirt. We got a lot of vacant land listings available as well. All right, Jordan Bowman in the house, AC guy of Tampa Bay. longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Let's talk about that VIP program. I love it. I've got that set up. That way I know, once per 6 months or once per quarter, I can't remember. But you come out, you do the servicing, and making sure you're catching those different issues that may come up with the machine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, so if you have a warranty, it is required for you to do maintenance at least once per year to keep your warranty valid. At any point, the warranty department really can check on that. So if you're not doing it once per year, you could really actually be shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to your warranty. But we like to go a step above that and do it 2 times a year. At least. You could do it even more than that, which I know you do because of the drain line issues we were talking about earlier. So our VIP program, it is currently $16 per month. It does change, but right now it's $16 per month per system. And we come out every 6 months and we do a maintenance. Once a year, it's like your regular basic kind of maintenance, and then once a year, it's a cleaning. And also you get 20% off parts and repairs and a reduced service call fee regardless of when you call. You could call at 8 a.m. on a Monday morning or 5 p.m. on a Saturday, and you're going to get the same rate, and that's pretty awesome. So it saves our customers a lot of money and time.
Yeah, especially when you need it.
Yep.
It happens when you least expect it.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, the AC, so a lot of times with these new units, do they have a warranty in place? Is it transferable? How do you go about that?
Yeah, so it all depends on the brand. But the biggest rule of thumb is if you're going to be buying a home, you want to check your AC's warranty, because what happens is the warranty typically is registered to the person who bought it originally. So if I'm selling my home and I have 10 years parts warranty and someone buys it, as soon as their name gets put on my deed, that warranty will go from 10 years to 5 years. Okay. It's just an automatic thing the warranty departments typically do. Every warranty is a little different, but that's a standard. So if you're buying a home, they're like, we have 10 years warranty. Really look into that, because it's probably going to be getting cut in half.
Right.
As well as labor will be being completely removed.
Right.
So also that comes to if you're buying an AC unit for your home. If you're planning on selling in the next few years, keep that in mind. Maybe you don't want to invest in a higher warranty. Maybe because you're planning on selling, you want to do a lower warranty.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so you get the warranties in place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about, is that the same thing for when a builder purchased they build the property, they build the home? John was mentioning before the show that he had different friends that they bought a new house, but they realized that the AC was a year older than the actual house. I guess that's when it was installed and how long the construction took.
Yeah, so it all depends again, depending on who installed that AC unit. Really depends on how they register it. If they even registered it. Some contractors don't register it. If it's like a one-man show, he might not have registered it. But if they are registering it, they're most likely registering it to whoever's the name on the deed. And like I said, if that changes, that's going to completely get rid of your warranty or cut it in half or majorly impact it.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier, Champion is the brand we're currently really using. They actually have the ability to transfer your warranty for a little bit of a fee. So that's one of the reasons we really love them. Is you're selling your home. Hey, I have labor warranty. We can add a little bit of a fee here, and this is going to transfer to you. Not everyone offers that, so we really love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you just joined us, we're talking with Jordan Bowman here in studio, AC guy of Tampa Bay. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and do you see many of these home warranties come into play as far as like with the real estate transactions? Sometimes the buyers will ask for, or even the sellers will grant a $500, $700 home warranty that kind of covers some of these units. Do you ever get involved with that?
On occasion, we'll have people mention it to us. At this time, we're not currently... Basically, what we require at this point is to have the homeowner deal with it with us and then file it with their home warranty company.
Right.
And that could change in the future. At this point, that's how we're handling it. We do hear it on occasion, but it's like not very often.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, most people are 9 times out of 10, they are paying for their repairs out of pocket and dealing with their warranties themselves, home warranties.
Yeah, it's basically like a separate little insurance policy to cover the HVAC, the refrigerator, things like that.
They unfortunately usually have people that they go to. So what that means is they don't if you pick your own contractor, it might not cover as much. Kind of like any insurance. You go in party or you go outside a party. It's kind of similar to that.
Yeah, they've got their favorites in place, it seems. That's right. What else do you see out there? This kind of cooling down. We got the lower humidity time this time of year.
It's a good time to do duct work. lower humidity, cooling down. It's a good time of year to do duct work. So if you were like, we had a lot of people call in the summer wanting estimates on duct work. We'll go out and look at it in the morning, but we'll go out and look at it. But it's not a great time of year to do it. June, July, it is like over 100 and some degrees in those attics. It is brutal. So this is the time of year. If you want to do duct work, do it, because pricing will be better. As well as it's almost January, like we said, codes are changing. Try to do it before then, because that could affect duct work as well.
What do you see happening with duct work? I mean, over years, is it 10, 15 years, 20 years? Some of the different, because those things are turning angles from time to time. Do they get closed off sometimes? Do they kind of slouch over time? Is that what it?
Yeah, they do. Especially because here in Florida we have flex duct work. Okay. So like if you have ever been up north or a northerner, you'll see it. Like they have like the metal like ducting. Now you kind of see like an industrial place similar to that. Yeah. Here we have flex duct work, so you step on that, it's crushed. Right. So what can happen is you have workers up there doing something that has nothing to do with the AC, whatever have you. Yeah. Rats, squirrels, uncommon probably, but it happens. Right. And that can just kind of affect the ducting. So over time it can kind of get crushed or moved, and then you have airflow issues. And
then what about cleaning? Do they clean the ducts too?
Yeah, so we do not suggest duct cleaning because, like, again, it's flex duct. So what can happen when you're trying to clean it, like if you think kind of similar to like a vacuum, you could damage it because it's so soft. So it can kind of like get crushed up. So we suggest that if you have really dirty ducting, replace it or get like a filtration system involved, as well as a UV bulb. Because like if it's something like dust or odors, you can get rid of that with those items. If it's something like pet hair or something in that regards, you might want to start thinking about maybe replacing it.
Yeah, that's what we did. We got one of those systems in place that has the UV lighting in there. Yeah. So that's great. Yeah, it helps, gives you that peace of mind too. You're kind of cleaning the air as it's circulating. All right, Jordan Bowman, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
And find him online, acguyoftampa.com.
Yep.
acguyoftampa.com. Jordan Bowman, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And say hello to the team for me.
I will.
All right. And coming up, we got Martin Gramatica, Super Bowl winner and former Kansas State. He was recruited by Jim Leavitt up there, and now he's in Tampa Bay doing some big things. Tampa Bay Strikers head coach, working with lifeguard imaging here in Tampa Bay as well. Martin Gramatica coming up next. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.